So, ooh, escort. my heart. You're on me to be. Don't blink, it's your boy. Oh. Doing well. Having a wonderful day on the 17th July 2026. Today, we're doing special content. You possibly noticed that some of the videos today were called "My Walmart is Closing." My local Walmart is closing. So yeah, so the local Walmart is closing. You guys possibly seen the videos I did where I talk about the importance of said Walmart. That Walmart is very important to me because when it's just that story, but when I was depressed, I used to go there a lot because they had Wi-Fi and I wasn't pretty new to me, so it always felt good. It always felt like I was anonymous, you know. I was doing the best. I was getting what I needed. Plus, I was getting what a nice guy. You give the hand, the finger, the hand. And it's gonna be tough. You can live without me. I could be unhappy. Yeah, so there you go. So, long story short, when I was depressed, it was a place that I used to go a lot. So that's important. Years after, I got a job, and that job was sort of good. And that job, it was far, but it was a shortcut which passed through that mall, or next to that mall. So every day what I would do is, I would start really early, at like 7 o'clock, which is incredible, because it was an hour and a half away. So I was like, okay, first bus, I have to take the first bus, otherwise I'm late. So it's nuts. And instead of going back home directly, what I would do is I would chill there a couple hours, just chilling, just relaxing, you know. The relaxation before the relaxation. I would also use the Wi-Fi to get podcasts. Back then I was big into podcasts. So yeah, so Walmart was super useful. Walmart was definitely useful. So the girl for a second. So yeah, so with that being said, well, it's interesting to say the least, at the very least. So now we're gonna go there because it's closing. So the important part isn't the Walmart. The important part is the, what should I call it? It's not the Walmart. The important part is the shopping center. And because the shopping center is important, we're gonna go there. The shopping center without Walmart won't survive. So because it won't survive, you're in a position where, like, you don't know, you know? You don't know, you know? I don't think it's gonna last long. Instead of doing something, I did search a reason why it was closing, if it was financial or something like that, right? What they were saying is localization. So because that Walmart wasn't making that much, right? It wasn't making that much. It's a sad story because the whole shopping center is not doing that much, you know. So the only place that I was doing money was there. But because it wasn't there, it's like, well, we're closing it because we want to close one we want to have less shops, but work on the one we have already. So apparently they're gonna use the money. You're talking about the project of upgrading 18 freaking Walmart. So I don't know if that's true. I don't know what actually is gonna happen or not. But what I do know is that, hey, it's that story, right? Now we're gonna go. I do feel bad. I was it was a tougher day mostly for me because I was dwelling or doing or not sure, because you're celebrating or passing on or funeral of a place that's important to you, but there's a lot of people that used to work there, people that literally pass there every single day. Yes, I used to go there more times than a week. I used to go there 3 to 4 times in a week, right? But that was years ago. That was before I had Wi-Fi. So 2019, which was 6 7 years ago, right? So yeah, so with that being said, it stopped because, you know, it doesn't affect me as much as it would if I didn't have the Wi-Fi, but it's still part of my life, it's still part of my history. And I do feel bad going here, and it's sort of a funeral. And because it's sort of a funeral, you're not in a position where you're like, hey, this is a joyous moment, this is fun. So it's tougher. It is tougher. Also, I was supposed to go there at 12, but I was like, no, if you go there at 12, it's not really close over there. Right? Let's go when it close. It's going to be chill. I mean, it's going to be different. Plus, I also did research on a restaurant over there. And the restaurant over there, there used to be a lot. Now, there's only 4 left. And the 4 there is, I'm not necessarily, I'm not super interested in what they have to offer, sadly. It's a Viennese place. I don't really know Viennese food. There is it's a vegan restaurant. I'm not super interested in that. The two others, I don't remember what it is exactly. Oh yeah, the 2 others is Nichols and Spores. And those are out of the, those are out of the shopping center, so they're literally restaurants. They're not like, hey, grab your food and go sit in the food court. No, you have a restaurant place, so I'm not super down with that, right? So yeah, it's kind of nuts. So I was supposed to go there at 12. I was so tired. At 11, I had like a huge jump of energy. It's like, okay, well, fuck it, right? And then I took a while to find the credit card, so I didn't find it. Now I'm lucky because I had money. I had money in my pocket. Well, I had money in loose. I found in the apartment. So the funny thing is, there was money in loose from Christmas and shit like that, right? But there was also a full rent for like a couple of years ago. So I have 250. I'm not gonna spend 150, but still. And yeah. Then I wake up at like 2 o'clock, so I slept for 4. I slept for 4 o'clock, and then I wake up to 9 calls, 9 texts, 3 calls from my dad. And I'm like, dude, you're so... And again, I understand that you're worried, but I called you yesterday. I was doing okay. Chances are I'm not dead. Chances are I'm not sick. Chances are I'm still alive, right? So it just gave me this. And I am responsible for that because there's a codependency. I call him when I'm bored. Call him when he's bored. Let's see, I'm less bored and he is more. But yeah, it's very. I'm not gonna say demanding, but it's very intense. It's very like nobody wants to wake up with a text from one person. And then the only reason it takes that much is because I didn't answer this morning. But it's because you guys know that I broke my chair. I did too fast, and I wasn't on one. And he kept on telling me like, hey, there's a chair that you can get, there's a chair that you can buy. And I said, sorry dad, I already bought one, you know? So this morning I went up to two photos on text and saying, hey, this chair is at a good price, and there's 2 photos of different angles. I'm like, dude, I just told you that I bought one. Yeah, maybe I wasn't clear enough, and that does happen, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, I don't know what to say here. First of all, am I saying like, no, I'm not interested? Then it's gonna be like, well, is it full price and you're giving shit? Or do I feel, well, it's too late, I already bought it. They're gonna give me shit for not shopping around. You know? But you literally buy the chair, dude. You have to make sure that, oh my god. You have to make sure that it's coming because the one I have right now does the job, but it's very hard on the booty hole. The quicker I got this, the quicker I can make more videos, you know? But you don't feel the same, so I packed all my things. Yeah, so emotionally speaking, today was a bit, I don't want to say neutral, but it was a bit like non-existent. And because it was a bit non-existent, then the second there's something that probably happened in a good mood, the second something negative happened in a bad mood. It depends on what happens and what is the first thing that happens. And sadly, it was 9 texts from my dad. So I didn't answer his first thing in the morning, so I got worried. You know? Full of pretty. You are very pretty. I'm so very And don't get me wrong, I love my dad. Even my stepmom texted me yesterday and she's like, hey, I saw this job offering. It would be good for you to do the machine. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. But and it's a good place. It's a good place. It's a good work. Salary is good. It's 40 hours per week. I could go there. Well, I don't know if I could go there walking because it is 40 minutes. Let's go. Only problem is it was posted 2 weeks ago. When I called today, they said, well, you're a bit late. And I'm like, okay, what you mean? They said, well, this one was 2 weeks ago. We already found somebody. I'm like, oh, okay, my bad. I'm like, okay, well, you didn't know. I'm not saying, oh, I called it 2 weeks ago. I kind of said that, like, I'm just grateful for time because it is kind of her. It is kind of her success. But it's just like, I don't know, it's just, you check, you know? But yeah, but this is not important. The important part is Walmart. I'm sorry, I got in my feeling I didn't want to talk today, so I'm not going to teach you guys, right? So yeah, so like I said, this place was super important. We made a number of videos on this place. Well, I think it was like 2, which is not a lot when you realize how much video I made. But it's still one of the only places that I did. So for example, if you see the videos, you have my high school, you have my first job, yeah, I'm going to work. They're not actually talking about the place itself. So yeah, there's a bunch of places. But none of them are shopping centers. None of them are places I used to buy stuff at, right? When I had my first job was IGA in Dorval. In IGA in Dorval, I was working like twice a week because they didn't like me. Well, it's not true. The manager liked me, not the manager didn't like me. Why? Because they would leave me a sheet of things to do, but then you were not expected to finish it. At the same time, if you give me a sheet, I'm going to finish it. So I used to do it, and I made a mistake because I had a lot of work. I had a lot of work. And then they dumped my hours, so I stopped caring. People were stealing food there. Thank you, kind sir, and ma'am. And yeah, so the person, I was like, hey, you want to steal stuff? Go in the fridge, so and the freezer, and then they know that I was part of it. Even though I didn't steal, they know that I was involved with it, and that's it. So it sucked because I got tired. But at the same time, I was doing 6 hours for that. I was doing 6 hours per week. Now, like my father was like, leave there. I said, no, it's my first job. I'm trying to do that for them, doing easy, you know. So even then, there I was broke. So what I would do is every single day that I was working, which was once a week, I was going to bid for the DVD. And I would buy like a $5 DVD or a PS2. Back then it was PS2. And it was super cheap. Why? Because the PS4 was already out. So you could get, like, I remember buying Assassin's Creed Brotherhood for like $12. So yeah, definitely super cool. Definitely really wonderful. And like I said, this place super important. I was depressed. I was going there. I wasn't even like, dude, this is insane. Like, I spent days there. I was going to open at 10 o'clock. I would buy from the Rama or Maxi meal, right? I would buy a meal there, and I would be like, hey, I would download the whole thing, but now I'm going to go on YouTube. For you, there you go. There you go. There you are. And yes, here we are, 12 years later, or 15 years later. We're in the same position, I'm a different guy. You know? I'm a different guy, so it is odd. And like I said, the shopping centers don't close. We're gonna see inside. I was looking at TikTok and they literally said this place, yeah, 70% of space that they have for the stores are not being used. So there's no. This is not good. And you see Lachine, and yes, Lachine is small, but Lachine Shopping Center is thriving more than this place. And I'm like, there's no way that, because even then you think about the electricity for places, you think about rents, you think about employees, you think about janitors, you think about, it's just not there. What is the solution? Well, I talked about this yesterday. The solution is for the city to give like a tax exempt. I was looking for the word exempt yesterday. Give a tax exempt to stores that wants to go there, or restaurant that wants to go there, to make it more interesting for them to have a shop there or a restaurant there. So what you do is you lower the cost of these places, which raise the profits. Because you raise the profit, well, it's more interesting for people. There's less of a financial risk, and nobody wants to take a financial risk. And go on them away. There you go. Imagine if it's closed. Look at this. It's a Friday evening. There's nobody. This is not, bro. Can't believe it. So I'm gonna go. Of course, I'm gonna talk to the camera. Of course. Take your time, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah. And we'll see. Thanks. No way. It's closed already. It's closed. There's no way. Oh no. I missed it. Oh. I'm sorry, sir. Are you closed? Yes, closed. Thank you so much. No, I missed it. Closing. Dang. That is not, bro. No. I can't believe this. They're closed. I should have been at 12 o'clock. Fuck. There's a restaurant there. Oh no, dude. That is so bad. I missed it. They were closing at 9. It's 6 o'clock. What the heck? No, dude. Well, at the same time, I was thinking that about going to a clothing place, so I think we're not going, and actually pretty cool. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Look, it's a 6:10. You have ramen now, so that's kind of cool. I can't believe Walmart was closed, dude. That's bullshit. And it just closed because there's still people customers inside. Like ready to go. I don't know. You are. That's what it is. Hard. For you. Go with it. And the goal for where we went that far, that late. Look at the sunset when we come back. Very different from where we usually go. It's a shame, dude. I can't believe it. Close. There's a that's waiting a second. There's no energy drinks, huh? Shit. You know what's gonna go with Mountain Dew?
I don't have you enough, and I'm gonna go with like a chip and that's it. The door, the screen, you guys. Sorry. Really? That. Bonjour. 45 euros, ça va bien. Ça va. Non, malheureusement. Oh shit. Tu vas avoir un sac? Ouais, ah ouais, c'est pour ça. C'est bon, quoi, merci. We're at the screen because who's speaking of that? No, want to do with this. See the shit $5 for a what? Drink? Chip? Get prosciutto. Oh, the hard part. I have to find use of now. That was my thought, guys. I set up this very specific table for years. I would be right back. Did I bring it with me? I don't know. Oh, I don't have a lot with me.
Okay, but the food court's closing in 10 minutes.
Okay.
And then that's not supposed to be inside anymore.
Well, I'll go back.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Thank you much.
Have a good day.
You too. They're closing. Don't worry, I got a plan. The shopping center is closed at 6 o'clock. Then how do you call at 6:30? I don't know. Oh. Goodness. You know what? I do have time for this. But look. I'm going to show you a couple things. Go home to love. There's nothing harder to realize. Number of single quotes. Show you a thing. Now wait. When we talk about this, you know what I'm talking about. Place that's close to my house. I used to go to. They replaced it with a no way, shape, or form perfect, but with this, we're good. Is that good? Is that okay? We have little peace of mind, which is awesome, which is better men. Talk about death. So yeah, so I wanted to keep that as good as possible. So yeah. Now I don't have a spoon, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. But first, the death for peace of mind. See if I can connect to the Wi-Fi. Upload a couple video. It's hot. I ever cared about. I miss the way you say my name, the way you bend, the way you break, the way you touch, the way you taste. Drink all the time. Walmart Wi-Fi. Not for long. It's okay, we got a good spot to film, we're good. Not boring anybody, I hope. And yeah. Oh, the weather's fantastic. I don't think it's working. Okay. %. Okay. Good. Everything? Are you satisfied? Love's a death, a peace of mind. Mind. Gonna do a short video. Let's see how much time it takes. If the Wi-Fi is good, I might come here more often, just to alleviate the constant uploading. Think all the time. More the truth. More the truth. Non-existent. Six minutes for 45 minutes. That's great. Not unbelievable, but it's not bad. So basically got like an hour before the sun is setting. And I would like to film that. A seagull. To hear you sing. I'm not gonna shake Ben now. I miss the way you say your name, the way you bend, the way you break. Running down the fan, the way you touch, the way you taste. We have a wire. If I was a dumb guy, I put it on my feet. Sounds solid. So at the same time, bon appetit. We'll be eating a spaghetti, white bread, We have fun to drink, Mountain Dew, and if I'm lucky, there you go. We got prosciutto, which is actually quite nice. Prosciutto, and we have hummus. Where is my hummus? What I'm gonna do is super simple. I don't have juice and sour. Guys, look at this. Prosciutto on the chair, wire my bread, and something to drink. So, it's in French. Le petit. Yeah, Mountain Dew. See, the guy told me the food court is available. Okay, no problem. It's not bad. I mean, such a big deal of anything. So, it'll be a 6 supper. You were closing at 6, that's why. Good. You see a bit of the paper, which is okay. Make it accessible. Today we're eating, what hummus we're eating? We're eating onion hummus. My mom gave me some jalapeno hummus, which is probably my favorite, but I didn't taste it yet. And as long as I don't taste it, my favorite is roasted garlic is good. Caramelized onion is really good. There you go. So, can you guys hear me? Make you eat it already. Another clothing. Can I have a mukbang? Okay. First of all, if I have to go, the truth, if I have to go, I wouldn't feel bad about that. You know?
Oh boy.
I wouldn't feel bad about the fact that we went there and it was closed. I feel bad about the fact that I went there and I don't know, did I film, but I had everything and anything. There was a drunk guy there. I felt. The way is great. Yeah, and this guy was looking the fuck up. The security guard. And that was nice to him, so hopefully. So going there, it closed. But filming it, it's not cool. It's not cool. Like how many was closing? And it was really my job. I wouldn't want to film, right? So then, what is that one thing that I have to do? One thing that I have to do is to go and then tell myself about my experience. But then, there's no difference if he warns me or something. And then there's no difference. We're talking about the guys in his trunk, sitting in his trunk. Beautiful weather, seeing the sun, it's perfect. And there's an airplane, fuck. There's an airport nearby. So a lot of people, what they do, it's nice that I keep this off, that way I don't have it too much of a volume. See, I don't really mind doing video in public, but I don't want to impose myself. Understand? So if it's imposed, where I says, hey, do that really respectfully. You know? And there is another point I was not super comfortable with. And this one is kind of complex because my father was like, hey, if I go to your videos, you're shopping, you're filming people. You can't do that. And I'm like, dude, I'm not filming people. I'm grocery shopping. And then we argued about that. I think he's right, yes. I do think he's right. But again, it would be right if I was in people's face and like, hey, do you have nothing to say? No. You know? For example, I'm talking about I think the example is probably Jack Wade. Project. The basic example is probably Jack Wade. You're people and trolling them. You know? I had this guy, he's very popular in French Canada and TikTok. What he does is he goes to people and he trolls them. But he came in my life and like, hey, can we talk? I'm a big fan. I'm like, I know who you are. Don't even try. You know, so that's a bit touchy. I feel like as long as you're being respectful, I think as long as you're being respectful, my apologies, which is after a verb. As long as you're being respectful after a verb, I think there's, of course, ways to do it. There's ways to do things. That project, that bread is going to be perfect. And the hummus is good. However, it's not really dipping texture. When I dip it, it's not perfect, you know? And it's not a big deal, but, you know. And the worst thing is I did the cleaning today. I found my foundable food. The product. I'm like, no. Think about it. The highlight of the meal is 100%. Yeah, so I think the fact that we didn't do film is popular. No, I think it's popular. I think it is popular. Because and the weird thing is, like, I'm seeing a lot of people, right, delete videos. And thinking, no. If I said something that was worth being canceled, that I deserve to, if I said something that was not good, and I deserve to, it's not a question of perception, right? Everything I said is archived, but I chose to post it. Now, ultimately speaking, am I rewatching every single video that I'm doing? No. Ultimately speaking, should I? No. Because I'm a good enough person to know that whatever I'm saying, as I talk for hours per day, isn't aimed at people. I'm going to let you know a secret, which I'm going to regret saying that. But this morning, I was watching the movie. It's like, it was a great movie. Like, I should do that for sure. I mean, not like very wide, that hasn't been done on social media. And then, I think you should do that, 100%. You don't want to copy, right? You would eat fast food for a month. But whether that company deserves to be sued or companies deserve to be in trouble, When the choice is to buy the food, when the choice to eat the food, I can only do myself. Yeah. Not for stretches. It's not part of the bigger pan. And the bigger pan is what? Number 10 is documentation, right? Information or about information. So, when am I talking about this? Dude, I thought it was the funeral, this was death. Yes, absolutely. I don't think, okay, so I don't think I'll ever say something that I regret. I think I'm going to say something where my opinion will change, or my way of talking, or my way of thinking. Event. For example, take an example possible is yesterday I reviewed a movie with Kevin Spacey. Now, if you know, Kevin Spacey had sexual misconduct about 20 years ago. The movie was good. But knowing what I know, like I can't believe the movie because I can't have a platform to do like that. Am I saying that what he did is horrible? Yes. Am I saying that he should be kept for it? It was 20 years ago. Sure, big chance that they are not 20 years after. And then, with the old Epstein file, how many people are running freely? How many people have like glazed in video that are part of this? I don't know. 0, 1, 2, 3. And it's of course, it's like of knowledge. Type of knowledge. However, I want to be more cautious. And they didn't even finish the video. They didn't start the video. They didn't even left the house for a video. And I'm already doubting it. And of course that's not a good idea. The product is amazing. $25. And I do believe it. I do believe in that. For example, my thing to be close, right? I was like, this is great because I can actually focus on making content, blah, 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 blah. See, being respectful, nobody is bothering me, I'm not bothering anybody. Actually, probably I was really working. Really working. I dealt well with the lots of the job. I'm talking to people. One person in particular still mentioned to this day, 2 years after, that was a good job. Oh, that was fun. And I'm like, okay, well, and at first I'm like, dude, get over it. But then I understood that it's mourning, right? You were emotionally invested in the place, which I was too, but we have a different way of dealing with things. And then he told me, sometimes I watch your videos because I miss that spot. And I'm like, okay, well, now I'm allowing the person to heal. Now I'm allowing the person to mourn. You know? So my father was talking about my father before. I'm seeing this stuff happen. He's doing something to many people. He went to a festival. You know, the joke, he filmed a girl and said, show us your tits. Which is, first of all, that's not a joke to do. Second of all, that's super misogynistic. Third of all, shame on you. Fourth of all, most important. She looked at him with disgust. He spent 5 minutes looking at the person, filming the person because he had the Mela band, Ray-Ban Mela, yeah. And he's talking about it. No disrespect to say, oh, he's calling her a fucking lesbian. Like, no, dude, you're just an asshole. You're an asshole. You've always been an asshole. People used to watch you for that. But you were being an asshole to people that deserve it. Now you're being an asshole because there's this girl that's cute. She wants to see her chance, but she won't. And I realized that this was an extreme example, but there's micro dosing that. That's what I'm doing. Can microdose many things. Can microdose crack? Does it mean that it's good for you? No. You know? So, but I understand that. Bad things, even microdosed, they're not good. Now, I can actually say I'm proud because I will never do that. But does it necessarily give me a moral high ground? Right? No. Because in the eyes of people, they be wanting the same thing. The intention is not the same thing. The intention is not the same thing. But it doesn't matter. Don't know my intention. What my intention are. And it only suffices for one person to do something bad, and for everybody to be thinking that, hey, everybody's gonna do something bad. You then look me up, I'm owning in love. Get me out of here. I said, get me out of here. Boom, working shit I need to do. The overlook, get no out of fear. The midnight will disappear. I was in my bed, I fell asleep. I was in bed, I was weak. But when you queries, look at too far. You see, this is the problem. That Peugeot is so good. And I feel like just eating that. And the bread with hummus is good, don't get me wrong, but I'm not gonna eat a whole I am, but I'm eating legit a full baguette. A complete human pot. Human pot. The tongue twister and a half. No, boy, me, boy, it's so predictable. Get me out of here. Delicious. Delicious. In our mouth. I'm gonna say something awful. Last year, Streamer University didn't follow it. Like, you know what, this is a trend, it's not gonna last. And then people were hyped for season 2. Like, with what the hype is. And there's so many people that are acting like I asshole. I thought a dude rip another guy for funsies. I saw somebody, J Shock gets fart spray in his face. And you're like, did he deserve it? He did something fucked up before, but that was way too far. And that guy is dealing with a lot too now. He had a couple of sickness, and yes, the guy is, possibly low cow-ish because of the way he looks. But he's a good dude. He got known for making videos where this guy's a great guy. J Shock is a great dude. He got known for making videos where he was pretending that he was in the same house as Stuffy Ray. Just eating the food. It's hey Sophie, that's how they drink. The guy doesn't look great in his condition. So he makes fun of himself because he's self-aware. But making fun of himself, when he's self-aware, he shows that there's still a moment, a You're way to be positive. So of course it's good. However, you put him with giants in the shooting industry, he's a small guy. And one thing about the small guy is he's gonna pick on someone, it's gonna be a bunch of people that are assholes. There was this guy, it was Max. He was, I don't know what happened, but he was depending for something. And he had his only when he was sitting on the table. I was like, dude, naked sitting on the table is wow. So you see the table, and you're like, okay, well, you know, this is dirty to begin with. One courtesy, come on, hey, I saw Emily. I think there's amazing content. I saw a video for the Montreal Canadiens, it was doing really well. And it was super cool. I bet she got some see from Michelle driving, which is better than Rick Food. Now, what are you doing, dude? You know? The mistake is human. And come back to the main point, because this is all a segue, this is all a side note. Leading to something better. You can choose to film yourself during your worst moment. But when you make the conscious choice, publicly put it. Example, this guy I got from TikTok, right? Was overweight. And wasn't the best looking guy, right? And then we should go. It's like $200. And when he got that roll of $200, he got in his underwear. He got into it in his underwear. He did what? He filmed himself. That footage was on live for 2 years, till he left. And people make fun of him for that. And it's like, oh my god, you get over it. No, dude, you posted it. It's your fault. In 2 years, you're a lot, yes, but the person like, okay. We're both on different ends of the spectrum for weight and for body weight and for body mass and for health, you know? I mean, you made fun of that for that. You can ridicule on a daily for that. Also, just put yourself in there. It's different when it comes to mental health. When it comes to mental health, you can control that. Dealing with body weight or underweight, you know what the person is dealing with. There was this guy, Chevy something. And Chevy has a sickness online. He has fear of water. So he walks a lot to lose weight. When you go to the end of the video, he drinks water. And then they did an insane farming where it didn't get accepted in the Schumer University. He broke his glass that was gifted by his grandfather. And I'm like, dude, this is all for clicks, this is all clip farming. None of this is true. You're being pulled a wool over your eyes and you don't even realize it. You don't even realize it, right? You don't even realize it. You just get lied to. They're telling you that something horrible is happening. Nothing is horrible. Everybody's okay. Schumer University, nobody gets hurt. You think there's no medic on scene? No. It's all lies. And then there's people that, and I'm not trying to be a justice soldier. I'm not trying to, when I'm telling you, when I started this video, which is this video in particular, I was like, I didn't feel comfortable. I don't know if I should go. I felt I was battling the idea of going and not going because I didn't feel good. There's real possibility. How many people love their job today? Yes. They probably knew months in advance. When I lost my job because it closed, we knew in November. And it was closing in March. So November, December, January, February, March. We knew a whole 5 months before. There's a chance for you to get a job in 5 months, but there's a chance of you like to. I'm going to talk about something that I don't think I've talked about before. It's very private. When my past job closed, I was happy because I was like, hey, I have some good memories here, I have bad memories. People I want to keep in touch with, I'm keeping in touch with. I got to focus on filming, which is my real passion, my real dream. My apologies. The place closed, I spent 3 weeks sleeping. When I wake up, I'm sad. Then my homie Shao brought pizza, I fucking love you, dude. Shao calls. I'm gonna take off the alarm at home. Shit. Shao calls. He's like, hey, how you doing, bro? I know that you didn't find a job yet. You missed your job. And in my head, which is a completely true story, in my head I'm saying, fuck no, I'm doing the dream, I'm living the dream, I'm making content. It is a click. And that click is, you're not making content. You just spent 3 weeks crying and freaking sleeping. You're not doing well. So I don't know what to say to him. And I blur out, I guess I missed it more than I thought. So no filter whatsoever. And I'm like, holy shit, I did miss more than I thought. And this is what I'm talking about. See, a place closing, and I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear, oh, it's Walmart, it's a corporate, oh, they're doing things that are not ethical. I don't even know if they're doing things that are not ethical. There's people behind it. There's people with job behind it. You know? Like, for example, myself, right? I haven't worked a real job. I've worked here and there. The most I did, if I did part-time, it was impressive. Right? If I did part-time, it was impressive. And that was months ago. The last thing I did was possibly the election, and that was in October last year. Which is a bit before this, you understand that? And that's shameful. Not because I'm in work, but because I don't know. I don't know why. What I'm trying to say is, this is closed. This place is closed, right? This Walmart is closed. And politically speaking, it's a shock. People will be okay. Right? But at the same time, you realize that there's no place that's safe to work. It's closed. There's no guarantee, no warranty. What I was trying to say with the places that I haven't worked is that I did work before. I know people, personally speaking, I know people that have never worked. They're either having so much money, they're either broke and they don't care. It's all bullshit. And I mean it, because yes, mentality is everybody needs to work to fill up society, to work with society. Then you realize that society is corrupted. You realize that nobody's playing your way. So every time I feel that works, how many that are not working? You know, you think about that. And like, okay, well, sure of no justice, right? And then you realize that this system is flawed. You realize the system is full of hope against the truth. And you have two chances. Either you're fucked or either you're fucked. And most people do. The only reason people like I want to people show just like that because they have to stand up and talk to them. Right? You want to teach your kid to have a job in the future. You want to teach your kid to have good morals. My parents wanted me to work so bad. But we seem like two slaves in the system. My father living vicariously through his work, my mom hating her job. It took me to toxic. Until I quit working with toxic. I used to work there. If you go around here, that's where I used to work. I'm gonna go there when we leave. I'll go there. But yeah. And all of this, we talk about people leading, talk about employees, talk about people being filmed, being respectful, being part of society. It's all just a grand scheme of economic politics, right? So not necessarily economics per se, or politics per se, because I don't think it has to do with things like Walmart clothing. But at the same time, it's society. How we live together, how we contribute. Hey, we used to have like this rule of anti-neighbor. I grew up in a house where my neighbors were my whole universe because I had great neighbors on my left, I had great neighbors on my right, I had great neighbors upstairs. Everybody directly linked to the house was a good neighbor. And I was like, okay, well, I had this. I used to have this this neighbor, Miss Wonti, and my parents were like, dude, we're gonna do a yard sale. And I remember that it was important because he came in, Miss Monty came in, and he died like 2 years ago. And his son died from so his father died. His son, who was living at his house, didn't have money to survive because his father took care of everything. Yeah. And he went to the garage sale, the yard sale. We call it garage sale. We call it not a garage. So when in garage and selling inside of it, you guys call it yard sale. You guys are English, I'm French. That's my name. I think we're gonna turn into a race. I'm like, whoa, dude, whoa, culture, maybe not race. And then my father was like, hey, Miss Hong, it's good to see you. C'est fun to voir. I was 7 years old. I was possibly 7, but I think I was 6. And I remember not going. I remember it was summer. I don't remember having school. And he said, no, my real name is Stefan. So I wanted to be the first one to support Stefan. I had uncle and aunt. This is a crazy story. I was really young. I was possibly 5. I wanted to have a bike. And my father was like, well, you're a man now. The 90s. You're a man now. What you're gonna do is you're gonna get money from people, and I'm gonna pay for half your bike. So every summer, every Easter, every every birthday, every Christmas, and every Easter, I got money. And I finally ended up getting, I don't remember if it was 60 or 90. And I remember having on half of it. And I bought half the bike, and it was meaningful because everybody partake in it, right? We don't have a sense of community, right? What I'm trying to establish is the death of something, but the death of the mall, which I don't even know how it doesn't affect me. But this is literally a place I went there. The number of places that I've been to that are closed. I used to work at places that closed. And of course, it's not a big deal because I don't work there and I haven't worked there in years, but at the same time, you ask yourself, you wonder, I'm 11. You wonder, then you have to look good, right? Then look, I should help the person. Shame, dude. Shame. I'm going to talk about this right now. That's what I'm talking about right now. I'm going to help the person and shame. You're torn between. I haven't made enough memories here, and I haven't made enough memories here, and I have to move on. When you have a relationship, when you have a girlfriend, you're always asking yourself, oh, what could I have done to save the relationship? Oh, what if I did this? Now, no matter what you've done, the relationship was doomed, right? You don't have the relationship to use that. That's fully fine. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you make the most out of it. And then your vow, the reality is I don't know what a social state is, I don't know what the economic state is, I don't know if it's thriving. There's a bunch of condos opening, but there's condos everywhere. So, right? And then it's not how much was the Walmart, how much was the Walmart part that? And the rest is I don't know. I have no clue. If this place didn't exist, this is also my problem with the place. If this place didn't exist, I'm gonna find something else for Wi-Fi.
By the way,
I'm gonna find something else, no problem. Right? Should make sure that we're uploading still. We uploaded 37 minutes ago. Shit. No. Oh yes, of course. Blurry night will disappear. Won't be long. Oh, have you done with me up? I'm on in love. Out of here. I said, get me out of here. And I got the homework and shit I did to do with me. I meant, if it over you do it means ready here. It's a beer. I was in my bed, tried to sleep. I felt my breath, it was too weak. And in the way hope and harm, get too far. I don't care, this isn't fair. I love the way you do your hair, the way you write your name. I love the way you're driving me crazy. You're driving me mad. I keep dreaming of days with what I shouldn't have. Mama, me lazy. The Wi-Fi sounded that good. I didn't ask for a napkin. Shit. Pizzets. And on. Ugh. Oh no, Ink, don't do it. Do not do it. Ugh. Stand nearby. Disgusting. But yeah, like I'm saying, like, if it wasn't for that place, I would have been another place, but it was that place, right? And it's even then, even talking about it, I'm realizing just how pointless it is, because I'm not going to change the place, I'm not going to save the place. I don't know what's going to be. It's going to be a freaking vaccination center. Vaccination for what? Vaccination for what, dude? Doesn't make sense. And then you saw inside the mall, but there's death, and well, the whole thing is to point out that there's emotional attachment to places. So you got the house that you grew up in, your hometown, your school. I was thinking this place, right? This one. It's cool. Let's go back. Yeah, let's go back. And it's photograph. So in the photograph, talk about his past and how much he missed the past and how much he wish he could have changed and how much he lived. But when you hear the lyrics, it is what? It is hometown, it is his first girlfriend, it's high school. I don't actually know how old he was in that video, but he was a lot older than just going to high school. And maybe that he can't, you know? Maybe that he can't. Like, for example, I was talking to a lot with Carly, and like, dude, this girl is super dateable, and then she had this love for her hometown, and I had my love for my hometown. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do distance. I don't know if I can move there, you know? They wouldn't force you to move in the Sheen because there's nothing in the Sheen. I mean, there's nothing with my family. there's a lot of stores. There's my apartment, there's where I lived. But, for example, my father texted me 9 times today. 9 times. And I'm repeating myself because it's not that big of a deal. Maybe I was worried text. Simple as that. But 9 times, maybe we need to have a bit of distance, bro. Maybe I need to establish a bit of distance. And it's not my thing against him. I get it. You're bored. That's okay. When I'm bored, I'm calling you. But I'm not calling you. When I'm bored, I'm calling you. Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. But if you look at last week, if you look at the last month, if you look at the month before that, when was I up? During night. Right? Am I calling people in the middle of the night? No. I'm still during the day. It's just not normal. I understand that. But you're waking me up. Then it's like that. We're talking about the emotional attachment, but I haven't carried the places. Like my hometown. I love my hometown. I was born there. I was raised there. It's a good place to live. I was watching La Jean, they were talking about how Quebec, French Canada, is a good place to live. And I was agreeing. I was like, okay, well, this is really cool. Does it mean that I have to stay there? Does it mean that I always be there? I have to limit myself? I don't know. I don't know if I have to limit myself. I don't know if that's a good thing to do. I don't know if it's obviously good. Huh? You know? And then, to come back to this place actually saved me because when I was in my depression, and this is a true story, I was 22 years old. I was getting so much tattoos. I was getting tattoos because it was a great way to, it's such a bad story. Even when I tell this story, this is bad, bro. This place actually, literally didn't save my life, but it saved me a lot of trauma. When I was 22, I was depressed. This one I used to come here a lot. The Wi-Fi. Sorry. I used to get tattoos a lot. And I told you about this place. That is the place where I used... Sorry. So you used to be able to go here. You would go to the train station, which is about 5 minutes walk. No. 5 minutes in bikes from here. And you would go there and you take a bus. Instead of going and taking the metro, you could take a bus, which was better. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. And it's kind of cool because I'm saving some time and saving some space. I'm doing something good, right? But then when I was at night, I was getting tattooed because the people that was working there, I didn't necessarily like the job, so I used to listen to music the whole day. Not because I didn't like the job, but I wasn't well. I wasn't well mentally. And then I would go at night and I would get tattoos. So I could talk to the tattoo artist. Didn't really talk. But I was going to socials, and it was kind of cool because I was taking the metro, I was taking the bus. I used to go up it's a true story. I used to leave the house at 5:30 for the first bus. I used to come back at 10 o'clock because I was getting tattoos. Fun fact. I got my first it was this one. It was my first end tattoos, and people like, oh, you won't have a job after that. Like, okay. And I think that was fine. But there was this moment completely changed my perception. I was in the bus ride, and I was waiting, so I got to sit first. I got to sit in the back of the bus in the corner, which is the best spot. And I remember the bus was packed. Somebody sat next to me, and she was a woman. I don't remember if she was attractive or not. And she was resting her legs. She was resting, I don't remember if it was the left or the right, on my leg. There, I told you. People would just sit and watch them. She wasn't resting because she thought it was cute. She didn't take it because we were friends. She was resting her legs via, I thought there was too many people in the bus. And I felt elated, I felt ecstatic, I felt like an ecstasy. Like, holy shit, the first touch I have in so long. How normal is that, you know? How normal is that? And I was going there. I was working in that shopping center at that time a lot. The Wi-Fi. Just sort of the worst years of my life. Sort of because it taught me more about myself than I thought. that you're supposed to do. You can't do much, right? You cannot do much. So yeah, so I was in that position, and I put myself in that position. There's nobody else that me that's an issue. There's nobody else that me that did something wrong. There's nobody else that I can blame except for myself. And this is the sad truth because I made a conscious choice and now I have to pay for it. I don't want to pay for it, but I have to. So I'm like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do? You know? So yeah. Yeah. You get emotionally attached to places because you have memories in those places. There's a park near my father's house. I don't know the name of it. There's no game in it, but it was rock paper drum. That's where I left my first tooth because I fell face first. And to this day, I still call this place the place where I left my tooth. It's not the real name. It never was the real name, but fuck. I drew my breath. I was too weak. And the open arms was too far. My birthday. And it sucks because you see those places close and it's part of life, right? My father used to tell me, like always tell me, like, I think I mentioned this before. I'm repeating myself, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I feel like it's pertinent, so I'm gonna say it. Oh, we used to have these places here. We used to have this restaurant here. We used to have a certain something there. I don't know what he's talking about, but and I'm like, who cares? It's closed. And now I'm in his shoes, and I'm like, okay, well, it's gonna close. The number of times I visited the Walmart. When I started my job at PhD job, the 8-year job, people were calling me fat. So people actually helping me lose weight. So I was losing weight. They would tell me like, "Hey, you can only have one of these and no dessert for you." I was like, "It's kind of bullshit," but they were looking out for me. So I was like, "Oh, okay, mom and dad." Yeah. So and that was a weird thing to say. And then. I was working out hard. This guy George gave me the what was it? It was I-25. So basically, the guy who did entirely Shanti. What's up, Shanti? Shanti, and it was this program that you could do a workout in 25 minutes. I was doing one every single day, and I was doing one when I came back from work and one before sleep. I'm insane, and I lost the weight. And every single week, I would come here, and I would get a Coca-Cola, 2 liters, or Pepsi. I don't remember. It was one of those two. I don't remember. It was dark, so we're getting a bag of Cheetos, and I got a bag of Cheetos right now, as a memory. That was my cheat meal for the week. But on Friday, we got to leave earlier. We got to leave at like 1 o'clock, so I could come here, and I would spend the whole night. Even when I was working, I didn't have Wi-Fi. I used to leave, come here, for the 40 minutes ride. I would leave, I would come here at like 4:20, right? More 4:20 because, you know, and I would leave at 9 o'clock. And you're wondering what I was doing, but I was using this for music. I don't know if I showed this already on camera, but I have a bag, I have a baggies, like for weed, a bigger one, probably like an ounce. I have this bag filled with SD card, and when you realize just how much is there, it's like 4 to 5 terabytes of micro SD card. Why? Because it was useful. Because I needed it, because it was something that was important to me. With music. And then the craziest thing is, I got like 8, and I was like, okay, that's enough. So I did 8, and you know the craziest thing? This is a true story, I swear. It was like, some of them were 256, I don't remember. Most of them were 512 gigs. I used to have them for 1 season. So I would have like 8, I think it was 8. But I would have them in rotation. And I did that for 2 years. But then I would listen to things like twice. Like, for example, the Harry Potter series I watched. I listened to 3 times. The Warcraft 3, like, cutscene. Watch it a bunch of times. really a lot of time. It was fun. It was fun. And I'm full. Then I'm gonna go back home and I'm gonna stream if I need to do. And if they're overdue, let nobody hears. Because tonight, the whole goal of tonight was just to do this. We're not gonna leave now. I'm gonna leave in about an hour. I'm leaving an open arms, cause my heart don't get too far. Just I don't care. It isn't fair. I love the way you do your hair. I love the way you say my name. The way you driving me crazy. You're driving me mad. I keep dreaming of there. But times I don't have. My mind call me lazy. My mind call me sad. I keep sharing a bed. No, dude. Oh, you're joking. I was able to do one video. No, just want to see this. But it's actually quite nice. I was gonna do one video. Oh, you're joking, dude. Oh no. Oh, that's bad. Oh, I want to show you how comfortable you are. And it's the first day, like in a while, where it's not too hot, so this is sort of good. We're lucky. We're alive. We're breathing. Huh? That's a lot. That's it. The grace of God. See, just there, I was disappointed when I came in because I couldn't do the Walmart, and already I'm out of it. It's already out of my mind. So how much do I don't know if it how much you really care, but it is certainly what the meaning of everything, the meaning of a place. If a place like this holds this much importance to me, if a place like this who held importance to me, I'm able to forget like that. What am I not able to forget? What am I able to do? You know, I could have used this for months with the Wi-Fi, and I didn't do it. You know, and that's my bad. That's my fault. But still, for months I could have done it, and I didn't do it. And now I don't have the opportunity yet. And I'm thinking about how I can use this for work, which is, but remember they do their job, and I wish I cared more. That's what I'm trying to say. And I know what she mean. How many people knew of this and didn't even go there, and sorry, it was almost this perfect feeling a bit before, because you were seeing in the store, right? You were seeing in the store, and you were seeing that they were kind of having a party, and I'm like, dude, they're still open. No, they're not open, dude. Enough, stop. They're not open. They're celebrating the loss of a job. They're celebrating the closing of a company. Those are people that know that they're not going to have a job tomorrow, or Monday, or Tuesday, I don't know. But it is. And it's just shameful. Out of when there, to get a photo, to get footage, how shameful. Simon, they put overdue. But if tears, dreary night will disappear. I was in my bed, I tried to sleep, I held my breath. 2 weeks to sail into an open heart. My heart get too far, I don't care, this isn't fair. Way you do your hair, rather than way you say your name. The way you're driving me crazy, you're driving me mad, and I keep dreaming of prairies, waters I won't have. My mom called me lazy, a friend called me sad. The positive thing here is that I don't feel pressure by filming outside, or filming in public, which is kind of like a big up. But even then, you don't understand. Like, I didn't even talk about this, but the first thing research, this, I got to get back to season 1 if you want. Why? I don't know. The song, pretty bad. It's not song on dive though. Song that is better. Oh, yeah, you have some good song. That's a great song. yeah. Da, 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 da. Yeah, people ask me. I remember being asked where, how do you do to film outside? How do you do to film yourself? I'm shy, and I'm like, dude, I just was singing like fruitless. They don't look at me different when I'm singing for you. They don't see me different if you do it. Discord, I'm howling at the moon. Great song. Discord, whatever can we do? Is there a way? Discord. By the way, small alive. A alarm, which means the one at home is ringing. Yeah. What was I talking about? Oh, by the way, I saw the movie Obsession last week, which is a great movie, and I could actually see the TikTok now, with our call like spoilers and shit like that, right? And say hi to my foot. Hi. And I can actually watch it without being afraid of the trailer. And talking about, oh, this is apple and see, and I'm like, whoa, I didn't even notice that. So I'm to another watch. Do I try? Get out of life, go back in time. Lord, the future shall leave you behind. I'm staying store, seasons arrive. This ain't a place for me, why do I try? Get up at 5, go 65. No destination inside of my mind. I'm taking pills in the past, I'll be fine. Losing my head will keep me alive. Keep me alive. Garden, Alive. Great song. Well, Garden's a good artist. Dot, 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 dot. Da, da, da. Beauty alive. So I'll be fine. Must rise, rise. Flow. You listen to the song, it's kind of, ooh, it's kind of, watch it so often. I did not have music on this one. I put music on this one for when we do it today, and I didn't want the music. I was like, you'll be good after this song. Just like you told me that time in school, and we can cut glass, we can hold hands, we can go to prom, but I really can't. You used to get me coffee, and we're going to study, and you have a fun. I was a shy kid sitting in violence. Yeah, so getting super look at. Everything I wanted, every time pass, I feel like a puppet. You can throw me away, all the colors fade. I'll be back in your arms on another day. Okay, so I have to admit that this was a bit for people coming in, looking at me. Okay, maybe. But I didn't get a different look when I was filming videos, so. I don't know. No, friend. Not the old one, not the new one. That's one. Do you hear that drum? He's an alcoholic. I just can't let you like I do. Like to fight you. I'm not trying to fight you. Take me back to high school. Are we going for Music Latina? Yeah. So you don't get to look at it different. And you see, maybe what he meant to say was like, why are you filming in public place? Aren't you like, and hey, darling. Maybe. See, I'm in a good mood right now because you feel elated because you're finally out of the house. And you already forgot about the mourning period. I mean, the stage of grief, right? Which is what? Which is acceptance? No. Anger, bargaining, lethargy, La 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 la. Acceptance. There's another one. So what? Anger, bargaining, lethargy, acceptance. It's 5 stages of grief. It's denial. Yeah. Denial, anger, bargaining, lethargy, acceptance. How do I know that? Martial arts mask. I was going to show you my tattoo, but I'm in public, so. Yeah, the martial arts mask. There's a 5 stage, which is different sample, different stage of the game. And the best. So that's pretty much it. No, another chapter of my life is ending. Didn't even know it was ending. Wasn't finished reading, but what can I do? You know. Then like, oh well, so this video has no meaning. It's not important. So, well, if I didn't talk about the Shimmer University, I would have a 50-minute video. It's enough? I don't know. I never know what's enough. I never know how what is too much, what is enough. I never know boundaries. I never know anything at all. Because it's different for every person, right? And I'm kind of mind blown because my father dropped it like this week. It was gonna closing. Like I said, and if it wasn't, I would have not been here. I would have done that video. Was it a better thing? In a perfect situation, I'm not learning that it's closed. I'm not doing this video. I don't know. You know. Still the doubt. So you go from total sadness to total joy to total, I don't know. I don't know, guys. How do I care? I wasn't coming here. Now that I know there's Wi-Fi, I might come here, but I'm not coming here for the place. I'm coming here for the Wi-Fi. I'm not coming here because I can't wait me what I need. And even though you mean so much to me, I can make do everything. It is really happening. I swear I'll never be happy. Again, it's this. Little day we could just be friends. Not some boy that you can sway. When you will happen eventually. La, 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 la. Now everyone is singing la, 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 la. Now everyone is singing la, 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 la. Everyone is singing la, la, and I swear we can make this right. Everyone is singing la, 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 can make till I get home. La, where we can make this right. Everyone is singing la. Sorry. Yeah. 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 Before when I was singing, I had the subject. It took me even now. I forgot about it. You see, it's all about this lack of genuinity. It's all about this lack of being honest. You know, sometimes you hear me a lot saying like, "That's not true," because I surprise myself in saying things that are not factually true, and I'm like, "That's not true. Why are you saying that?" And it's just without filter. My brain goes so fast. So the natural state or the hair that I have, which is the lie, I'm trying to fix that, right? But then dishonesty or disingenuity or not being genuine or nah, I don't know how many synonyms you need, bro. I just gave you 4. Dishonest. Yeah. And it's not about lying, it's about everything. I come here because I'm sad the place is going. Am I really sad? I don't know how I feel. Do I feel bad? And again, this is so nuts because I'm gonna sound like such an asshole. Am I sad that the people are losing their job? Absolutely. That sucks. Am I sad because they won't have a job on Monday? I think they're gonna be okay. I think they're gonna find another place. And my fear is that you're gonna find another place. You're gonna spend, so for example, the real fear here is what I didn't portray correctly or clear enough is some of the people that are working at Walmart, that Walmart peculiarly, worked there for 10 years, for 15 years. I know a guy, personally speaking, I've been seeing, I went here, it was last winter, I bought Final Fantasy,
I bought Fire Emblem Engage and I bought Fire, which one? Shiny Pearl. Yeah. And that guy, I used to see when I was 20, I saw him last week. That means that he's been working there for 13 years, minimum. Minimum, because I didn't go before. So, you're understanding that, holy shit, dude. This guy just lost his job for the last 13 years. And my problem is not that he lost his job. Of course that sucks, but he'll get back up because the guy's young, he's smart. But at the same time, you find another place. You're gonna work there for 6, 7 years. And you see the guy was looking at me when I did the 6, 7, he's like, I know, bro, I know. Yeah. So this guy's gonna find another job, and the problem is not finding another job. It's doable. That he's gonna close again. You'll work there for 7 years, you'll get attached to people, get attached to the place, get attached to the second house of yours, and then it closes. And then you're stuck doing the same thing. And I was talking with the friend of my mom, because my mom doesn't drive, I don't drive. So he said, give me a lift. And he was like, and he was talking to me like, man, you're not man. My mom is telling you what to say. My mom is asking you what question to ask me. It's not man and man. It's mom versus son. Well, not versus son, but mom, son. And he's telling me like, why is it so hard for you to find a job? And I'm like, it's not hard. I have a lot of opportunities, and I don't think they're bad, but I think they're like past part-time. I think they're not super good. I think they're something comme ça, you know. They're not places where I see myself long term. I'm talking about my dad. My dad was more understanding than I thought. I had an interview 2 weeks ago, and I got the answer for last week. And they said, well, we want to hire you, but we don't have the job that you're looking for. And I'm like, what do you mean? They said, well, we have this part-time, but don't worry. If you work there, if you work with us for 6 months, for 5 or 6 months, there might be an opening for a job that is full-time. And in my head, I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do for 5 or 6 months? I have money saved up, which is the craziest thing. But I don't have a guarantee. I'm gonna take a risk with a company that I can find something better. And at the same time, for example, if I work there for 5 or 6 months, then also there's a mentality with work that's weird because, and yes, I talk about this because people losing their job. The mentality with work was weird. When I was young, I was super shy, super shy, super reserved. I thought about this before a couple of times on a video. I was so shy that I was afraid of for going to places and asking for stuff. When you go to places, you give your resume, and you're afraid to give your resume because you feel like you're asking for stuff. You feel like you're begging, and you're not. You're offering your services in your time for monetary gain, which is equal exchange. But the boss has a leverage, and the person hiring you has leverage. The person hiring you has leverage until you're permanent, and then you lose all leverage, right? Which is insane. But yeah, so then I was looking for work, and then there was this announcement. I was with Simon. Simon was a great dude. Simon taught me a lot. Simon Twim. Craziest thing. Simon lived, you can see his house from here. I'm not going to show you because I don't want you guys to go to his house. You can actually see his house from here. Which is, I'm telling you, this is why I call this my second home. Because I have my favorite store, I work here, I had friends here. What you have to understand is I was doing from 3 to 11. At 11 at night, I used to go to sleep at like 7 or 8 in the morning. I don't know. I don't remember. But I would wake up at like 1 o'clock, 1:30, go to work, and I know there was nobody. So my whole social life was here. That was my second home, right? Small was living close. One was my best friend. He taught me a lot. He taught me a lot about work, and he found me a job at because he had contact with the agency, right? And with the agency, what ended up happening was I stayed there for 4 years. BCT, which is the place that I worked my last job, which was 7 or 8 years. Not 6, 7, but 8 or 9. And If it wasn't for the agency, I would have not got to that job. I would still be with the agency, right? And the agency, I didn't have to worry about this. I didn't have to worry about it. I didn't have to worry about, am I gonna get accepted? I don't have to worry about my CV is good enough or whatever I'm doing. But they'll find a job for me, right? And then, my engineering agency were horrible. I was working with incompetent fools. Fucking fools. Like, it's so stupid. They would send me places, okay? And at first, I talked about this story, but I'm gonna change the story a little bit because I'm gonna change the story a little bit because when I told the story or whenever I told the story, well, before I lost my job, right? So what was great about that is you went to a place, you actually liked it, you get attached to the place, and you're like, okay, well, I want to get attached to the place, right? And then you get fired. Like, oh, well, sorry. Shit happens. And then you go to a second place, right? You go to a second place, and you're like, okay, well, let's make this work this time. So you get fired again for whatever reason, I don't even know. Third place, I get fired again. Fourth place, I get fired again. Fifth place, I get fired again. And then you start realizing that every single place that you were working at never told you that you did anything wrong. Never told you that, hey, if you don't change, we're gonna fire you. You were close, in every single case, you were close to reaching. There's one of them that was way too far, which was, dude, I would leave the house at 5 o'clock in the morning. I would come back home at like 9. I'm like, how am I supposed to survive, dude? And but there was like 3 places that I really cared about. One of them was in the middle of nowhere. I was always late, because I was working 2 days a week I remember if it was 12 or 13 hours per day. But forget about it. The problem was I used to get lost because last time I worked, I came in at night and I left in the morning. The second time I worked, which is a full week later, is at night. I don't remember where it took place. I used to get lost. Well, never too bad, but I used to get lost. They fired me because I was always too late, that's true. But a couple of places fired me because at 800 hours, I was becoming permanent there. So I used to work 800 hours, which is what? Which is 800 divided by 40, that's 20 weeks, that's 5 months. After 5 months, give and take, because you got holidays, you got shorter week, you got vacation of construction. So, yeah. It's a good math, right? Thank you. And then what you would, at 750, 730, they would tell you, hey, they fired you. I'm sorry to tell you. But how many places actually told me that I'm fired? How many places that I called without the company knowing or the agency knowing, saying, hey, I want to improve, what did I do wrong? And when you're being told nothing, the agency said that you didn't like the job and you left. Also, I worked here for 4 months but I didn't like the job. Oh, okay. And my biggest issue, like I'm calling it the fucking fools, is you know I lost a job. You're not offering me another job. You're not telling me, hey, this is harder for you. I have to call you when I don't have money because I trust you. I trust you that if you know that I lost my job, you're gonna find another job. That's your job, right? So what I have to do is I have to wait until I have no money. I have to call you and say, hey, I have no cash, please give me a job. Say, oh, okay, you're looking. Yeah, no shit. So that was a big problem. That was a huge problem. And then, I don't know, just the general mentality of agency was bad, right? But then, what it taught me back then, what it taught me was that there was no security for a job. There was nothing. Because you could lose every single job. But then, I lost my job to the, well, I'm saying bankruptcy, that's not true. The truth is, my boss wanted to retire. They didn't fight to make enough profit or whatever. So then he sold it, right? That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Yeah. And but then it taught me that no matter what, there's no job. I have this, my stepmom, craziest story. Her cousin I used to work with, they were working for a company that was 13 hours per day. And they used to work there. They worked there for 25 years. He was a, I don't know what you call it in English. He was a, it's a manager, it's a managerial position, but it's a manager of, okay, so yeah, shift manager, I guess. Core manager, I don't know what you call it, but if you have different shifts, you have a couple of manager per shift. It was. And she was an accountant. They both lost their job to the closing. But they were working there for 15 plus years. I think it's 20 plus years. I don't know. But then like, holy shit. How is that possible? How is that making sense? You just stop believing in things. You just stop believing in job security. So then you go in with an emotional detachment because you're afraid of being attached and getting hurt. You know? Like I'm talking to, I keep mentioning Carly because first of all, she's amazing. Second of all, I really like the girl. Third of all, it's one of the only people I talk to. And she's talking about a place that she's working at. And there's time where, which is normal, there's time where she's very optimistic, very positive. But then she's seeing people that she likes leave the job. And she's telling me things like they don't pay for overtime, I'm not allowed to have tips. And she's telling me things that doesn't make the company the best company. Yes, they have this amazing program, and yes, there is a commission for sales, which is great. They have a lot of advantage, but there's things that they're clearly lacking. So you don't really know if it's a good job or not. So then even then, you're like, okay, well, first of all, is your job secure? Is it a good job? And the worst thing is, you're talking about Walmart, which she's not working at Walmart, but I'll come back to Walmart. Walmart puts the minimum salary. But if it gave you job security, if it gave you a guaranteed 40 hours per week, if you thought that you were going to be able to work at this place and make enough to live for the next 10 years, why would you need to change? You don't necessarily value the company for what they're offering you. You don't really think that they're competitive with their rate, with their salary, with the amount of hours they're giving you, with the advantage, with are you getting dental care, are you getting eye care, are you getting ear care, are you getting health care? Doesn't really matter because you realize that for the next 10 years, you don't have to worry about a paycheck. You don't have to worry about a bill. Now, of course, if you overspend or if you have a gambling addiction or drug addiction, yeah, maybe there. But in most cases, you don't have to deal with shit. You don't have to worry about shit. So in this position where you're literally safe. And that safety comes at the risk of everything else. Like, for example, when I was doing live, my mom was the first one to hit it. You know when you hear some things, somebody says things, when you hear other people saying the same thing, you kind of like, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So people were telling me like, hey, the apartment's small, bro. We're just trying to get something bigger. And my thought was like, I will never need something else. I will never need, well, that's not true. I have a kid, but personally speaking, I will never need bigger, right? So why go the extra step to look for a place that's gonna be different, it's gonna be further? I'm gonna have to deal with that shit. Why would I have to look if I literally have a place that does a job, right? There's no answer, but there is an answer. I am putting all my eggs in this next thing. If I'm getting kicked out or if they're closed, right? I don't know. Because technically speaking, what they could do is they could say, oh, well, we're changing owner, we want to fumigate or we want to, because I got the wooden floor, we want to wax the floor, we're kicking everybody out. They have the right to. They have a right to. If they can only say like, hey, I have this nephew, I have this daughter, I have this niece, I have this son, I have this cousin, I have this sibling is looking for a place to stay, family come first. They can kick me out for any reason. That's not a fear, of course, because otherwise I would live in fear, but it is a reality, it is a possibility, and you have to deal with that fact. So just like a security, that thing of security it's amazing, you know? When I was coming here, and again, this is the sense of security that I'm talking about, when I would come here, I would feel, and again, this is another true story. So
I lost my job, which was what? You know what? Yeah, I find myself, which is a great song. I lost my job, which is not the job that I had last. It was no, yeah, it was Chub. It was Chub. And my tattoo artist was like, dude, whatever you do, don't sweat, don't put liquid on it, don't wash it. So I would literally take bath, and this is a true story, and leave my end out, which is this tattoo. I would leave my tattoo out of the water, out of the bath, right? So you literally had this, and this is a true story, I swear to God this is true, right? There was this, I used to have this, my end out of the bathroom. So you'd have this clear discussion. You know when you tan, and you have like this that's not tan, but this that's tan, right? It would say, more regrets. Let it all fall apart. Didn't it all from the start. And from it lose. Finding myself, I always lose. Like a park. That's why you know that, by the way. Stop Mikey. So yeah, and I literally have this trace of dirt, bro. Dirt. And I go here, and this is, I sort of got it true. I had this girl who, it's one of my biggest regrets. Not in life, of course, but mentally speaking. Her name was Sabrina. She was fucking hot. And Sabrina had a little something for me. And I had a little something for her. She was just so hot. But did she like me? She was Arabic. I have Arabic traits. Like, remind me of my dad. Yeah. Another joke. Another joke I would say. Wait, it's on my lack. Because I was always going back. Wait, I can't break free. Enemies in me. Can't find what is out of my back. I can't free because I'm always see the past. Free from the break free from the enemies. I am in the inside of man. Off it all fall apart. Oh, and this, I don't know the lyrics that you can tell, but it's a really good song. So yeah, and there's nobody. I think there's somebody there. You look too weird. But then there's somebody filming back there because I'm weird. That would be the purpose of let's not film people because they're losing their job, right? Imagine the simple thought that I wanted to come here and say, hey, there's visited places are going to be closing. And these people, hey, you're losing your job. Not something to do. I didn't even think of, well, I thought about it today. I didn't subconsciously if I knew it was going to close at 6. So I came at 6. I said I was going to do this video and I didn't want to look like a fool because I didn't think about this before, but I came in late because the place would be closed and I wouldn't look like a fool because I just had to say, oh, I thought it was closing at 8. That's bullshit. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Right? Who knows nowadays? So I would tell her as a joke, like, don't worry, don't run from my mom. And one time I told her, and she looked at me like, oh, she's disappointed. I'm like, no, you remind me of my mom, don't worry about it. That was weird. And basically with her, what happened, and I know this is personal, I'm going to say the family name for that because it's personal. But she was a super sweet girl. And her dad, a second family. He had a second family. Why? There were 3 sisters. There was Samira, there was Sabrina, there was Samia. All S. And this guy I'm talking about too. And yeah, it's bad. And this is the guy I'm talking about, the guy that's been there for 13 years. She said anything. There's this temptation. want to say my sympathy because I don't know if it's proper. Oh, that's nice. I don't know. Making more regrets. So her father wanted sons, and he had 2 daughters, so he chose another family. He had another family for the woman that could give him a son. I don't know how it works. And then what ended up happening was he got caught. Her father got caught, and the mom, Sabrina's mom, literally said, "You have to choose. It's either us or them." She said that thinking she was gonna win, and guess what happened? Yeah, I can guess too. And then Sabrina fell into drugs. Greatest news ever. She stopped doing said drugs. She got clean. Congratulations! It was a big thing. Big thing, dude. It was bad. It was bad. When your face change, your facial feature, because you're doing too much of a certain product. See, ain't like me. And she got clean. Well, she went to the detox center. A lot of people that you're gonna see at detox center, you're gonna gain a lot of weight. She was uncomfortable with the weight that she had. I was sitting. I showed you the table. I swear to God, this is true story. It's gonna sound like bullshit, but I swear to God, it's true. Her sister is sitting at the table next to me, and I'm seeing a girl from the back, a bit chubbier. Not as chubby as me. So I'm not fat shaming. Don't worry. Leave. And I'm like, they look alike. And there was streets, like I said, his sister. One of them, Sabrina's my age, so 32. Samira, I think she's a year older than me, or 2 years, 25. The one is much younger. I think the other one is, she must be in her 20s now. She's much younger. And I'm like, I was 22. So back then she was possibly a teen. She must have been in the first year of high school. So like, this is Sabrina. I picked up my bag and I left. But just to realize, and what is that so important? Why did she went here? Why do you think? Why didn't she stay in the machine? Because she was embarrassed of her weight. Yeah. So she came to hide here too, just like me. You know? Safe refuge, guys. Safe refuge. A safe haven. Place to hide. Now they all fall apart. Reject you from the start. When you call it your job, it's second home. Kind of what you're talking about. A place where you feel safe, where you feel at home, well being at home. A place you can be somebody else at what you are at home. For example, at home, I have to deal with this. I have to go get the milk. I'm a bitch. Okay, I haven't slept. My kid's diaper needs to be changed. You know, when you're at work, you don't have to worry about that shit. Doesn't mean that this doesn't exist. Doesn't mean that your kid's diaper is clean. Doesn't mean shit. Just were able to escape. Just enough for you to be okay. It's enough for you to have temporary refuge. And if you're lucky, what you do is you have this safe place at home from work, from the politics of work, from the drama from work. And when you're at work, you have a safe place from politics and drama from home. So you're constantly running away, constantly fleeing something. It doesn't matter what you're fleeing. It doesn't matter what you're afraid of, what you're dealing with. It just matters that you have this safe place where you're able to do it. That's sort of important. That's sort of important, right? So yeah. Like I said, this moment meant nothing to me. It's the place that I visit. There's also this guilt, if I'm being completely honest. So why do this thing? Is it because I'm lacking confidence? I don't know what to say. When the Saint-Hubert closed, the Saint-Hubert was more important because my father is a cheapomaniac. You know, I'm a workaholic. My father's a save-aholic. Save money. We're gonna go because now we're gonna get the sun set. 10 minutes? Okay, 10 minutes. Because the sun is setting at 40. I don't know how much time it took me to come here. Didn't check. From the start, I know we left the house at 5:40. I would get the house at 5:49. Twice. True. I was gonna say right, and I was gonna say truth, and I'm gonna say thrice. For some reason. That tripe didn't make sense. Like, oh, thrice. No, it doesn't make more sense, bro. Yeah, so that's bad. They would have this. They would have this. We would have this special where when it was your birthday, for example, if you're 60 years old, you get 60% off. My father was like, we need you to act fast, not faster. We need to act you older. And I'm like, oh, fun, a game. Oh, fun. How old? He said, well, don't look older than 12, because then you don't get the kid menu. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, so my father, every single time, he was like, dude, I saved 61%. What's up, dude? Proudest moment of his life, for sure. And I used to celebrate birthday there. Why am I talking about this? It's because it was a place that was meaningful to me, meaningful to my family, it was meaningful to my upbringing. I was able to see it. Like how many places was I able to how many places was I able to see the death of? How many places did I got to see that they were closing? How many people did I know they were closing before? And we don't publicize the fact that they're closing. They'll say, hey, end of state, we're going crazy. Our manager's lost his mind, we're closing. Then next week they're still open and like, oh, what happened? We'll say, you know what? This sale was very successful, so we made enough to stay open. Okay. What? Go figure. I think I'm going to say that more often, go figure, because it's going somewhere. And going to places is fun. Not it all fall apart. It all from the start. I will always love. I think myself, I always love. Favorite part in 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I can't find put on my back. I can't see 'cause I'm always still the fast. I need free to lead to break free from the enemy. Say to me, I can't run 'cause it's dirt on my back. I can't see 'cause I'm always focusing past. I can't breathe. I need to break free from the enemy that's constantly inside of me. It'll fall apart. When that back closed, I wasn't there. I didn't notice. You know, there's gonna be a time in my life which I don't see. This is the concept of mortality that you don't know. Like as a kid, you don't know if your parents gonna die. No, yeah, I'm not aware they're gonna die. But be like, dude, it's gonna be not that far. And I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm not saying this is a joke. We're getting to an age where, sadly, they have lived more than they have left. They're past that age for a while now, but still. So mortality is something that I'm wondering. That's my biggest fear. That's my biggest fear. My biggest fear, which is very selfish to say, but my biggest fear is not my parents dying, because that's a fatality. That's gonna happen for sure. I would be sad if they died from pain, but if they die from anything else than pain, I'll be okay, because I'm like, dude, it was their time to go, you know? An accident. If they die a natural death, I'm like, okay, well, it's the time to go. And I'm okay with that. I'm afraid that I'm not going to be sad. I love my parents, but we all have ways to protect with death. You know? I don't get sad. I get angry. I get angry. This thing which you say, there's no use of being angry. Hey, they rose the price of my favorite drink. Well, tough shit. You're not gonna get angry. You're gonna get angry at whom? The cashier? What did they do? You know? You know? There's no use. And see, my mom is the same way. She'll get mad. My mom, she'll give shit to like the cashier. Like, how is that possible? And then she bought my glasses. She's like, hey, I want something in return. And the guy was like, what did you want? I couldn't really offer you things. So, well, I spent some money. I want something. The guy gave her. It was a cleaner the glasses. It was like $10, and it made her happy. And I'm like, I'm so glad that you're happy that you understand that you gave shit to people that didn't deserve it. They didn't give it to you because they liked you. They gave it to you because you were making a scene. You know? So growing up with that is something that you notice, right? All of this to say, like, I'm aware enough. Oh, Misery's good. Misery's so good. We gotta add the song. You said to be the one that you were nice to me this evening, so I ask if I'm just dreaming. I love you so much, so yeah. So there's nothing to get angry at. So if I don't get sad, if my way of processing things, I get the feeling is anger. There's no use to get angry. How do I react? Right? And then you get to a moment. One of my favorite movies is about that. We're talking about death. I'm not talking about the death of a person. I'm talking about death something. My favorite movie from you know what's insane? Everything happened for a reason. So I was watching Escape Pod today because I was dreading the fact. Dreading was the word I was looking for. Contemplating, no. Dreading, yes. Dreading, you think it is. I was dreading the fact that I was going to go to the Walmart film a place I'm more anxious tomorrow. And then you realize that it doesn't make any sense. But never did. You were nice to me, but always in the evening. So I ask if I'm just dreaming. As a February. And next to me, and always in the evening. So I ask if I'm just dreaming. That movie is, I was watching Escape Pod, which is the nerd, hat guy, and good guy. I know. That's a, you know, it's not their name, it's just the way they're Eno, I guess. They're online Endo, if that makes sense, right? So yeah, so a bit odd, but I guess it's normal, right? And we're talking about movies from Jake Gyllenhaal. When's the last time I thought about movie from Jake Gyllenhaal? I don't know. I don't think I've ever did. But if I was to ask myself, it would be Demolition Man, which is exactly that. It's a dude that loses his wife in an accident. Then he's not sad. And because he's not sad, he realized that he never loved his wife. Right? Yeah, he realized that he never loved his wife. But then the movie is about how she didn't love him too. She cheated on him. She had a kid with the other dude. And then she got a mixture. You should have watched this. You see, this is the thing. You do things impulsively and you don't think. But if you thought about it, you would look what song is your favorite from what you have. And you would possibly have chosen to watch your favorite song. Right? And by the way, I just realized they're big mistakes. The sun is not sending through here, it's sending through here. We're gonna go. By the time we're home, we'll get a sunset. She's on the other side, so there's no point, but so. So yeah, so he deals with the death with understanding that he didn't love his wife. Sometimes you need to lose her. When you lose one, you realize how much you like them, right? Before that, you don't know because it's possibly something that you're not aware of or something that you lack awareness towards. Now we're gonna go home. I'm gonna show you where I used to work, and that's it. I already showed you this place, but just to show you the importance of location, Phil Dundee. My apologies. The most popular Phil? Philip Burnell? No, Phil Dunphy over Philip Burnell any time of the week. Look, this is, by the way, this is the sunset we have. It's mostly gonna be raining, so. And my father told me, like, if you wanna come over for supper, you're more than welcome. But he texted me, he called me at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I want to have supper with you guys because I don't answer. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? He invited me because he wants to see me. He invited me because I don't answer his text. It's so, and again, I don't think it's lyrics. I don't think it's comics, but it's just so confusing and perplexing. I'm not confused, but it sounds confusing. It sounds kind of make me a confused person. That's what I used to work. I worked there for a year and a half. Simon lives in a walking distance from here. Beautiful. Well, the way they put a car came in, but that's, I can't write. I never been further than here. Why? I got my keys. I didn't. It's just the phone die. I don't mind. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go to bed. But I'm gonna go home. I have to test what is the quality of I have to test what is the quality of 760. I'm gonna do a retro playthrough in the power again. Take your Honda. Give me a gesture, which is go ahead, sir. And so when it takes stanza, half as lucky, man. I've been lucky in the sweet way. Last time I came here was last fall or autumn, depending on who you ask. And there was buildings that were not done. Let's see how much they did and how fast they did it. Again, I have no clue. But they did it almost a year. And yes, you guys remember that year? It was completely not there. Whoa! Look at this. This was not there at all. Whoa, too loud. This is insane. Hey. the first time or the last time? Yes, we just got a guest of Walmart, my local Walmart. Will they ever be shut again? I don't know. Will we ever be missed? I don't know. Will I ever come back in here? Possibly. Can I guarantee it? I don't know. I don't know. It seems so pointless, you know? It's such a surge of emotion. Which is very French, huh? Very French. A surge of emotion. This surge of emotion. And this surge of emotion was meaningful because like, holy shit. But then you actually go there. Like, okay, well, no big deal. And what if my father, when he said, well, you know, when he reacted the way he did, maybe he already had came to terms with the fact that it was closing. You know? Maybe he had already came to terms with the fact that, hey, this look at that everything went, maybe there anymore. You know? And then he told me what he told me. I gotta say, like, very sweet. But it's very, very sweet, you know? Because he said, don't worry, there's nothing left out. So my guy was thinking that I was missing the Walmart. Very sweet, very sweet. Very sweet. Not intended. But hey, very sweet. For example, here, do we go here often? When I'm on bike, yes. I used to come here almost every week when I was really filming outside. But the thing with filming outside is your surroundings, no matter how much you put them bigger, no matter how much you make what you consider as a place to film, right? For example, I consider like this away from my home, still very filmable because I have to do the batteries, right? But apart from that, I'm like, okay, well, I might be liking batteries to come back home. Then it's not good. So I avoid that, right? So, you know that you have a carry meter where you can film, depending on the means of transportation, right? For example, if you have a car, I can go 2 hours away to some one location. I can do it once, I can do it twice, but then is it really worth it? Not really. So if you like what is close by or what is in that circumference and that 30 meters of supposed to film is not big, then you like pretty much everything that you saw, everything that was seen or anything that you could show has been shown, you know? And then the prediction was like, okay, well, I don't, and then you're fucked, right? Not because you're dealing with the situation, but because you're having to face the fact that it's just nothing that much is going on, you know? For example, last week we did the but was that difficult every single day? No. Did I go out every single day? No. Am I supposed to go out every single day? No. The city job or purpose is a better word, right? The city purpose is to make it so it's fun, it's enjoyable, it's a good place to live, right? it also is a management job. Like, you don't have, if you don't have infinite funds, right? This place has to be livable. It doesn't have to be the best place in the world. You know? Look at places, for example, Las Vegas, right? How many people, and I'm not talking about Las Vegas. I'm sure it's a nice place to live. I'm sure it's very nice. Many people, like you said, like, oh, I would vacation at Las Vegas. And I mean, there's so many people who said, well, I would move here, you know? They're still local. There's still plenty of people that are, how can I put this? I don't know. You know? I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about the closing. And I feel like this has to do with it. The better your city is, the more people want to live there, the more companies are interested in building there. Like there was a I don't know what it was, like 2010, 2015, I don't know. Around those years, there was this new taxes law, and because of this new taxes law, a lot of places left. There was Burger King that left, right? Burger King was left because it was being too tax. Right? But your law says really good enterprise, and that enterprise pays taxes, which is city taxes. And that city taxes, you can build the city better, right? The better, oh, look at the fire. We're having a barbecue. What the fuck? There's good fire. Oh, that's good. Oh. You should be allowed to do that. Understand? You don't do fire like that. Fuck up. That is a brick. Well, the one that can happen, a couple of people like to leave. Oh. Most people will say, hey, I probably should start a fire here. I don't know. It's not really a sunrise or sunset to say. My video is right here, right a bit before, and it's what? It's me having a mukbang. And it's looks like it was a McDonald's mukbang, and we legit went here and I went a bit nicer sunset, more nicer, it was real cool. And when you look at it, it's nice. People back to my hometown, and the vibe is very different. It's very, it's very. And also I think that what could have played a role in the fact that I was caring a little bit less about the Walmart is over the years I started really caring about machine. I started really being involved. I voted for the mayor of the city. I voted. I went to the events. I really went out. I mean, it's some of my city. So I don't know. Maybe the fact that I'm more comfortable living here, I'm more comfortable with that this is like hometown. I'm more comfortable leaving the house without having a fear of dealing with people that are nearby. You know, it's different. It's sure different. And for example, this morning I came up with I used to do a own version of typing, right? Really fantastic. And I'm downstairs and I'm super excited for it, but at the same time it's like just how people can do it. I don't know. Am I choosing only places that are my own town? Am I visiting? I don't know. You know? So yes, I love the Shimo that I used to. Doesn't mean that this place isn't part of my issue. It's not this place doesn't have anything to me. If you look at the sunset at night now, I have an ID. It should be a bit messed up. Kind of nice, kind of beautiful. You know? For example, places like this, there's no business. And I don't think machine in my hometown is immune against financial crisis like it was. Like Walmart possibly wasn't losing money. It wasn't possibly the most profitable spot they had. Like for example, the one in Natal, and the one in Natal, which is about 10 minutes away. So it goes to Machine, and it goes to Dorval, which is where it comes from. Machine and Natal. They're all about 10 minutes in car from each other, right? Say 10, 15 minutes, right? So the one in Natal, which is about 20 minutes away, 30 minutes away, if it's making triple or quadruple the money, then like what's the point? What's the point? You just don't know, you know? You just don't know. Like for example, I always complain about the fact that there was 3 grocery stores next to each other. There's the Maxi, the IGA, there's the Metro. But they've been going on for years and they haven't closed, which means they're profitable. But they're making a profit. Would I have done this? No. But if you can survive, fuck, why not? Why not? Go ahead. Do what you want, right? As long as you can survive in the economy and survive in this world, go ahead. So yeah, so maybe the attachment for the machine isn't as big, which means the attachment to the valve is lower. Look at this, beautiful. Yeah, we're going a complete U-turn, which possibly will drain the batteries a lot more than I expected. At the same time, I've got no place to be but to where I am right now. And the craziest thing is saying that I've got no place to go except for where I am now. If you're at the place that you are right now, I think you get somewhere else. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, if you're comfortable where you are, then you don't have to go further away. I have this think of an understanding for people that work 50 hours and save every single 50 weeks and save every week and be like, yo, I'm gonna have this amazing trip at the end of the year. And it's like, yeah, but your trip is 2 weeks in. Is it really worth it? Why don't you use that money, make your home as comfy as possible, make yourself as comfy as possible, live as well as you can possibly afford. Then you don't have to go away, and what you do have is maintained, you know? Hey, listen, if they make home surround sound, if you want, you don't need to go to Hawaii, get a home surround sound. If instead you want to do door knocks for week, every week you don't have any dishes, you can say, hey, you got a day off and ready for responsibility, then do it, right? It's not a question of perception, it's a question of priorities and importance, right? Walmart is a priority because I didn't have anywhere else to go. Now, Lachine is my beloved hometown. It's not a priority anymore. And I realized that why am I talking about the people that are leaving? Because it's the same thing. It is the same thing. Why do I need to go to the next city? The city that I'm in is nice. But the problem is, it's not just always having that. I just refuse to take the desperation that it was. I mean, that is, nobody else solves the money. You know? You have to deal with bullshit that you created yourself. Yeah. At the same time, I'm very happy because, you know, I didn't get to film what I should have filmed. I still got to be there when it's closed, which is kind of going to a funeral, you know. You're not a close person because they're gonna die between you and you know. When you understand that, you know that you're like still up. I have a look at funeral, yes, absolutely. Okay. Not many though. Like at my age, it's not normal that I didn't go out and look at my 4 to 5 funerals.
I was younger, my father got pissed at me because we were saying like it shows a bit more emotion right at a funeral. My dad, and that was his I think it was his cousin or uncle that I have never met. And my dad, I don't know who they are. He said, well, somebody's gonna come to your funeral that you don't know. You're not gonna cry. I'm like, what? Okay. Okay, I guess. So people can actually go ahead. When you go to the store, that's not that guy sitting here. Something is cooking. I feel like we're going to go with more, so we'll do it a bit more. My eating is waiting, but the eating is there tomorrow or Sunday. I just feel like this is a weird video. I wasn't sure coffee making this, but you never coffee in depth, you know? And I didn't finish what I was going to say to the emotion man. I'm so sorry. Shit. So the story is about the guy, he was his wife, and because he doesn't feel anything, he realized that he didn't like her. And I know there's stuff what I'm going to say, but the biggest fear, because I'm seeing, like, for example, one more thing about my parents, like, it's a weird thing to talk about, right? Happy. So we just saw a store close, which is the death of that store, right? That store lived, it was born, it was built, it proceeded to living its life, its very short life possibly, and now it's dead, right? And now it's part of life, and now, you have to deal with stuff, and that's the whole thing you have to deal with, right? But then it makes you wonder about life itself. And because you start wondering about life, you're like, okay, well, about life, okay, who are the people that I know they're most likely to die? I don't really know sick people. I don't really know a lot of old people. I know my neighbor, she's old, and she's still healthy. Maybe my father or my mom. And again, I don't think they're gonna die tomorrow because I feel positive, but you never know, right? And the biggest fear is, I'm still gonna make them just love them. My biggest fear is not feeling anything. And the fear is that because of that, I will never be able to repair it. I will never be able to repair the fact that when they died, I didn't cry. I will never be able to repair the fact that when they left, I didn't feel anything. And again, I'm not, I don't feel anything. Like, for example, with Carly, like, I love the girl, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the girl. You know, I love her. She's awesome. But we haven't talked in how long? Oh fuck, wrong place. Wrong place. Where are you going? Could I go there if you have more batteries, but no. And we haven't talked like a legit talk in almost a month. So, are we still good? I'm not gonna say being a friend. I'm not gonna say feeling that everything is all Gucci, you know? Nor would I like her to do so. So, even if she wants to call me or if she wants to text me, how would I feel about it? I don't know. I have to admit that I don't know. I am not sure about how I feel about it, and I'm not sure about the fact that this is all Gucci, you know? So
So what's the right thing to do? Pretend, give it another chance, I don't know. She didn't do anything wrong. It's just she talked like they both did. Yeah. What am I talking about it? Because I'm not less busy than before, and we still have time to talk, so something changed and I don't know what it is, so I'm like, did I do something wrong? Am I at fault? Am I to blame? And the answer is, I don't know. I know it's the worst answer you could have, because you'll never find the answer. You'll find some answer, but not the right one. And usually when you find the answer, it's too late. You know? Your ex broke up with you. You're like, oh, well, I didn't know that the... Holy shit, man. I saw that, huh? That was insane. So you did the whole shoot here, which is great. Very smooth, very nice. Very nice. And they're gonna, and then you lose a person, you're like, yeah, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, I don't know the position was wrong, but now that I know, I want to fix it. No. I want to fix it because it's broken. Even if you were aware of the problem, doesn't mean that you would have changed them. She had to leave your ass to realize that, hey, I had a good woman, and now I don't have that woman. But fuck. And then in its own self, it is dealing with the death of something, not the death of the person, not the death of the emotion. If you still care about each other and you still love each other, the death of the relationship, which was the materialization or the physical materialization of your love. How many people do you like in life? Like, how many people do you love? How many people would you date? Right? One, right? I mean, no matter how many people that you love, you'll only date one. And even if you're polyamorous, you'll date what? 2 or 3 people max? You won't date 5 people, you won't date 6 people. So even then, if you love in your life, you love another person, and you did it 20 people, and even then, to live your life and you said, I was able to date 20 people, some people will say that's a lawsuit. What happened? Why didn't they work? Why did number 7 didn't work? And why did number 8 didn't work? Why did number 12 left? Or number 13 cheated? Oh, that's awful. You know? So ultimately speaking, the relationship is the embodiment of, hey, I love you and you love me, and the depth of it is not necessarily the depth of the feeling, but the feeling is not strong enough, so you're stuck dealing with this feeling of emptiness, you know? So it's really tough. If my parents die tomorrow, either my mom or my dad, and even then, like, I get along with my father better, but I'm close to my mom. Because my mom, when it goes well, and when it goes well, she's fantastic. My father is an amazing person, but it's always the same thing, you know? So if we fight, we get the same, we're looking the same way. If it's a lot of drama, oh, that is cool. Okay. I thought Gucci. I'm gonna go home anyway. Yeah, we're going home. Yeah, baby. Not that. Da-da. 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 Like I'm saying, you know, and even then, the point is mute. It doesn't matter the relationship you have with your father, with your mom, how different it is, who you're closest to. It doesn't matter because they're both your parents. They both raised you, right? One year to see one house for 9 months, you know. You're not gonna mourn somebody differently. So you put the value of death of a person on the value of position that you have with that person, which is fucked up. Which is absolutely fucked up. You know? That is never a thing to do. It's never a thing to do. I used to film Pokemon Go in this cemetery, which of course I didn't have ill intent. I didn't film the tombstone. I'm like, haha, this person is dead. First off, but still, this is the second place to be rest and people in their head, you know. And I was able to respect it as I was able to give it the respect that it deserves, which is kind of sad, kind of shameful. Maybe as the entrance. You know? Catching Pokemon in that cemetery. I did that. I don't feel bad about it. I probably wouldn't do it again. You know? It probably wasn't the best thing I ever did. But one of the most respectful things that I ever did. There's no ill intent, but it doesn't matter if you have ill intent. No matter how people perceive it. If they don't care about your intent, then you're an asshole. And the opinion of the other people don't matter. If you know that you're a good person, you're a good person. Then the people will tell you, hey, you're a good guy, don't worry about it. If you're a good person, you're a good person. However, all it takes is a couple people, a handful of people to tell you in your face you're an asshole. And then you start believing in it, and then you start questioning, and you start doubting yourself. The thing you start doubting on yourself for being an asshole, for being a good person, it's the exact same thing. Because if you were a good person, you wouldn't question it. And if you were a bad person, you wouldn't question it. As you question it, it's because there's something in you that you think is not that great, right? But coming back to my parents, putting a value on their death for the relation that we had. You know, my father, Joseph, my grandfather, was an alcoholic. And he swore up and down that he got clean the last years of his life. At his funeral, my father came, my uncle went, and I think 2 uncles went. I don't think one of them, my aunt went. So 3 out of 7 went there. 3 out of 7. 3 out of 7 went. You know? Because it did feel like his, and I don't want that. I don't want to be in that position. My father doesn't want to be in that position, so he'll do an extra effort. You know, today when he called me 9 times, was the real reason? I don't know. He thought I was mad or something. He wanted to make it up to me because he didn't do anything. I don't know. But still, you know. And then when you're done thinking about the death of people, the death of places, you think about your own death. And your own death is what? Your own death is miles away. But you're afraid of it. And then, as much as you're afraid of death, you're afraid of not leaving anything behind. Maybe a legacy, love. You're selfish. You want to be dead and remembered. You want to be dead and mourned. You don't want people to cry over your death. You know? If I was to die tomorrow, who would be sad? I don't know. Do I care? Not really. Do I want to die? No. But the fact my time has come, my time has come. You believe in fate and destiny. No matter when you did, no matter how you died, it was meant to happen. Your time came. That's all there ever will be. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I absolutely adore you guys. I love you. Take this opportunity to... If I can finish this video on a positive note, please do it for yourself, not for me, okay? But please visit your local store. Tell your parents that you love them. Tell your friends that you love them. Tell people that you care about them, and if you don't want them to see them go. Share everything that you still have, everything that is still alive, everything that is still present in your life. Because they'll be gone.